In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how I went from 0 to a 6-figure run rate in just under 100 days. So if you're watching this video, there's a good chance you've already seen some of my content, consumed some of my YouTube, maybe followed me on Instagram. If you don't already, head over there and follow me at Owen Cato. The name is the same as YouTube. But on the 5th of January, which is about 100 days ago, I set out a public goal on my Instagram that I was going to build my coaching and mentoring and business building business to a €250,000 run rate in the year of 2025. So I'm going to provide a little bit of an update on that, the progress so far, what I've learned, what I've changed my mind on, because there's some things that I've changed my mind on over the last 100 days, and just give you a little bit of a big picture update of what's going on in my business and in the businesses of the coaches and consultants and creators that I mentor and that I coach, and share some value with you there as well. So first, if you are new or maybe you have been here before, but just to kind of revisit the whole run rate concept. So run rate is really projected revenue, and essentially a €250,000 run rate is a projected measure of the revenue of the business in the coming period. So it could be a 12-month period, for example. Now for me, the definition of a €250,000 run rate was 3 21K months back to back, which meant that if I had one big month where I did a lot of upfront sales, but I couldn't actually replicate it, that didn't count. It had to be a repeatable and replicable revenue amount that I could confidently generate. So if I hit 3 months of 21K, I know that I'm on the right track and I should expect to continue to see that revenue grow. So that's the run rate term. That's what it actually means. We're now 100 days into, a little bit over 100 days into 2025, but about 100 days since I dropped that post. And I was effectively starting from zero. So to give you a little bit more context, I had built a 6-figure online coaching business. Prior to that, I've done online fitness coaching for 5-6 years before that, since about 2019. I went full-time in 2020, and I spent most of the last few years traveling around enjoying the online lifestyle and the freedom that online coaching gave me. But I really fell out of love with online coaching because I had built the wrong model, and I was really operating like a coach and not like an entrepreneur. And that's a key distinction, and it's something that I think is really, really important, and is something I'm trying to bring to my clients, that if you're stuck in being a coach and you can't zoom out and actually see through the lens of an entrepreneur, you will end up building a business that you hate. Now, if you're a coach who loves the idea of working really closely one-to-one with 50 clients and manually managing 50 people all the time, and you love that interaction and that's for you, then this video is probably not going to be that interesting or insightful or helpful. But if you are an online coach or creator or consultant and you don't want to just have a really high paid hourly rate where you still have to work like 40, 50 hours a week and grind it out dealing with people all the time, and you're essentially paid to deliver hours of your time. If you want to break free of that model, this video is going to be really, really interesting for you. So where are we at? In the first 100 days of 2025, or since the beginning of 2025, I have been very clear on things that I didn't want to do. One of those things was I didn't want to build a big team, so I wanted to keep my business profitable and high margin, and I wanted to reduce the responsibilities of managing people and engaging with people and interacting with people. I'm building a business on shaky foundations, because if you build a business with a ton of people in it and they do decide to leave, you're left to pick up the mess and clean up the mess, and that wasn't something that I wanted. I had a bad experience like that before. When I got to 6 figures, I hired somebody. They didn't stay in the business that long, then they left. It was a complete shit show, and it's just not the kind of business that I want to build. I also didn't want to just hustle in the DMs and send hundreds of DMs, because I hear mentors in 2025 saying post content and send DMs as a business strategy, and it's absolute nonsense. Like, those things certainly have a place. They're definitely important. They definitely can be utilized, but posting content and sending DMs is not a business strategy. And if you have built a business that only brings in new clients and only works and grows when you're hustling in the DMs, you've basically become a part-time appointment setter, part-time coach, and your job is just to hustle and bring more people in. So I made that mistake before as well. I had 53 clients and doing 5 figures a month, and I absolutely hated it. I was chasing Stripe payments, running around the clock, chasing people up. People would drop off. I would have to hustle to get more people on. I just absolutely hated that. Those two things, I am still very sold on the idea of building a business without a big team and without staff members. I'm also sold on building a business that doesn't require me to be hustling in the DMs and being a full-time appointment setter. However, there's one thing I have changed my mind on, and that is paid ads. I also said I didn't want to rely on paid ads, and I certainly don't want to rely on them, but I think I have seen the value of them a lot more in the last 100 days. I haven't even used them that much myself, but I can see where they fit into the machine that I'm building. And so that's something that once this machine is built, paid ads and boosting posts essentially is just giving more people access to your content. So if you're boosting posts and putting money behind posts that are not converting, you're now sharing those posts to an audience who are cold, who don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you. And if you're expecting that to convert when it doesn't even convert with your warm audience and the people who know you, that's a really poor use of paid ads, and that's essentially you burning your money. But if you have a working system and the sales process converts, then it's really just a matter of bringing more people into that process. And so that's where paid ads can come in. So I actually will probably utilize them a little bit more later in this year. I probably won't need paid ads to get to 250K, but beyond that, to scale to 50, 100K months, which is going to be probably the next target for me, I'll certainly need those running at some points in the business. So that's the things that, just to kind of clarify, because if you saw the other business or the other videos on this, and I haven't really done a direct update recently, you might have seen me saying I didn't want to use paid ads, and I'm now kind of retracting that statement where I actually see the use case for them. For the most part, I won't use them, and I think they'll be used very strategically in the right way, not just, oh, let me throw some money at this post and see what happens, but very strategically. So let me tell you about the last 100 days or so. So like I said, I had a 6-figure fitness coaching business. Last year I was running that alongside my mentorship. So for the 18 months previously, I had been mentoring people, but it had been private. I hadn't been posting or promoting about it on my page. I posted a little bit on my personal account, but the personal account audience wasn't really people who were interested. It was really just me updating my friends and people in my circle. So effectively, I've mentored, aside from this year, for about 18 months, but it was all private. I wasn't documenting, I wasn't telling people about it, I wasn't advertising. About 6 or 7 months ago, I had a good split of fitness clients and mentorship clients, and I decided that I really, really loved the mentorship. Like, I love business building. I am an entrepreneur at heart. I am not a coach. I coach people in entrepreneurship, but I love the building. I love the solving of problems. I love the growth of business. I just absolutely love the game of business itself. And that was really what brought me into online coaching. I didn't realize it at the time. I thought I loved coaching, but I realized that the thing that really gave me fulfillment was building the business, not actually coaching all of the time. Now, I do love coaching people in business because it's such a passion of mine, but with my current model, I'm spending less time coaching one-to-one and a lot more time creating systems and value and frameworks for my clients to use. But last year, I had a decision to make. About 6 months ago, I had a decision to make because I was trying to grow the mentorship alongside my fitness coaching business. And the setup of the fitness coaching business, because I built it in a way where I was giving a ton of my one-to-one time, I just didn't have the bandwidth to do both things. And so I made a decision to go all in on the mentorship. I think it was back in November. I did a fitness launch 1 week and I put like 4K in the bank in a week. And I thought, amazing, it's nice and easy for me to make sales. I don't have to worry about the mentorship kind of not taking off. But what happened then was I put 4K in the bank, but I had 4 or 5 clients who I now had to set up. I had to manage. These are fitness clients I had to work with directly. And all of a sudden that 4K in the bank actually then probably cost me 10K in mentorship because I couldn't actually commit to the thing that I really wanted to do. And I ended up wasting so much time on a business I was trying to get away from. So I made a decision to basically cut ties with the fitness business and terminate it. I didn't tell people this publicly because honestly I wanted it as an option to go back to. It was comfortable, it was easy for me. And so I cut ties with the fitness business. Anyone who had paid me, of course, I honored the time frame that they had, but most clients were paid on a term, so they would end at the end of the year, at the end of 2024. And I went from 40 odd fitness clients down to about 5 fitness clients and dropped 6 figures of revenue, pretty much all profit as well, to go all in on mentoring. So I effectively went back to zero, but I didn't tell people that because I wanted to have the option to go back to fitness coaching. I had this little, what do you call it? I hedged my bets. Now I did have full belief that I would make things work and I would grow the mentorship quickly. And I did have some mentorship clients, but again, most of them had been paid up front for the term of 2024. So coming into 2025, I was effectively at zero in terms of revenue. However, I was not at zero in terms of skills. I was not at zero in terms of ability. I was not at zero in terms of my confidence in those abilities and those skills. So I knew that I would make this work. Fast forward now, we're up to a 6-figure run rate and beyond. So again, the run rate definition, if you were to do 8,300 euros every month for 12 months, that would be your 100,000 euros, your 6 figures. It's now April. We've actually surpassed that amount. So obviously we haven't surpassed that amount in the 100 days, but the current run rate, the current projected revenue, we're well above the 100K for the remainder of the year. So in terms of the 250K plan, we are very much on track. Now, the initial plan was to add 1 client per week and to make sure that I was delivering a really great service to my current clients and improving the quality of the platform, the coaching, the support, so that people would continue to keep getting results and stay. I'm very happy to say that that has been the case. The retention has been excellent. People are loving the community. They're getting incredible results. They're staying longer than even I expected. I have not been as consistent with the 1 client per week because there's been some weeks where I've had a big influx of 4 or 5 clients. There's been other weeks where I've traveled and I haven't taken on any clients. But on average, if we average out the last 3.5 months, we are more than on track for the 250K run rate. And in actual fact, I think that we may hit it early. And even this month, April, or the following month, May, we could actually hit the target for the first month. Obviously, we have to do 3 months of 21K plus back to back to actually hit that run rate target. But I'm pretty confident in the next 50 to 60 days we'll tick off the first month, and then it's just a matter of following up with 2 more. Now, a couple of things I want to share with you. I made a couple of notes here on the laptop, just actually on my phone, but it's synced to the laptop, so I'm using the laptop now. A couple of things that happened over the last 100 days. By me putting myself out there, by me taking this risk, by me having confidence and just backing myself, I seem to have attracted a lot of opportunities. So aside from working with the clients and the coaches and the consultants who I mentor, I've also had a couple of really big opportunities come my way that I never could have forecast. These opportunities have potential huge upside. One is a collaboration with a massive education company, and it's a paid collaboration also, so my time is paid for, and I have access to a huge number of my ideal clients. It's verbally agreed as of recording of this video, but we haven't signed terms yet, so I won't actually share that with you. But based on my estimates, that's the kind of deal that could bring another 20 to 50K per year without adding a lot of workload. The second opportunity is revenue share opportunities with people who have audience but don't have the skill set to monetize. And that's another opportunity that I'm currently working on with somebody right now. We're doing a huge launch in the next 30 days. We have a huge launch planned. So hopefully in the next couple of videos, I'll be able to disclose a little bit more about that. You'll be able to see what we are actually launching it. And when the launch goes ahead and is successful, which it will be, the extent to the success, who knows? We've set quite a big target. So let's see what we do. But once that is being completed, I will actually share the framework and how I did that with you as well. So I think the real thing here is just leverage. Leverage is probably the biggest concept you need to think of if you want to switch from being a coach to an entrepreneur. And the biggest thing that changed this year that allowed me to grow so quickly was leverage, and using leverage in my delivery, in my sales, in my marketing, in all the different parts of my business. I was looking for leverage points. So I was being clear on how to get the most out of my time, clear on how I would deliver to clients. So instead of being tied into 40 one-to-one clients a week, where that was essentially all of my time, all of my energy zapped for that period or for that week, my current model is actually structured around access to me. So if you want that level of access to me where you have one-to-one calls every week, that's available, but you're going to have to pay for that level of access. If you want one-to-one calls monthly, you can pay for that level of access. If you want WhatsApp support without calls, you can pay for that access. And if you want mastermind mentorship, you can pay for that access as well. So depending on where you are in the journey and how much support you want, there's different tiers. That allows me to actually be really effective with my time, to serve more people in a more leveraged way, and to also make sure that I protect my time and my energy and my ability to think and create, which is the thing that essentially drives my business forward. So if you want to make that switch from coach to entrepreneur, if you want to build a business versus just have a job, you need to start looking for leverage points. You need to understand leverage. You need to understand how to actually value your time, what you are worth, what your time is worth, and how much of that time you are willing to actually give to people. Another thing that has become clear to me over this last 100 days is the importance of momentum, and most importantly, documenting that momentum and showing it to the world, because your personal brand is the thing. It's like the magnet that attracts people. And people think your personal brand is, just what they see on Instagram, and to an extent it is, but Instagram is really just a reflection of what's going on in your day-to-day life. So if you are living by your values, if you are putting in the work on the things that you deem important, if you are sharing these learnings and these experiences, if you are getting into momentum and then documenting yourself being in momentum, sharing your wins, sharing how you do things, being okay going against the grain, and really letting people in to see behind the curtain. I very transparently let you in behind the curtain of what is going on right now in my business and in my world. And a lot of the times people won't actually share this stuff with you, and people will try and protect where they're at and not tell you where they're at and all of this kind of stuff. But the reality is that if you want to really connect with people and you want people to trust you, we are currently in a trust recession. You need to actually build that personal brand and share that personal brand and get into momentum through action. Having daily workflows, having weekly, I have my workflows here on the board behind me, weekly workflows of what we're going to do for lead creation, what we're going to do for conversion, what offers we're going to run, how those offers performed, our signups, our customers, our calls, our documents, our drop-offs. Happy to say in the month of April, there is 0 drop-offs on the board. In terms of signups, there is 3 signups, 1 customer, there's 4 signups, there's 1 more to go on the board. Let me do this in this video. There is 1 more sign-up to go on the board here. So we're at 4 signups, 1 customer created in the last 2 weeks, and we are at 0 drop-offs. So at this rate, we're going very, very well. We also need to be very conscious of what's going on in our business. I'm on a tangent here, but I'm going to share Right now, for me, the thing that needs more my focus is the sales process. So we've got traffic, leads, sales process, conversion, and delivery. I spoke about this in another video, so if you want to kind of understand this deeply, go and check the other video. But for me right now, this is where I need to put my focus. The machine is working. I have traffic, I have leads, my conversion is really, really good. If I take calls, this was 4 calls, 4 signups. So out of 4 calls, 4 signups, that's 100%. Obviously, it's not always that high, but that's pretty good. What was interesting as well is all 4 of these clients who came and joined in this last 2 weeks were ex-clients, which, to give you context, I was always confident in my abilities, but there was always anxiety and self-doubt when I cut off a business that had done 6 figures, that had supported me well for 5 years, that had given me great freedom. I just cut that off and I went to 0. And there was a lot of anxiety and doubt around that decision. I was confident, but you can't get away from the anxiety and the self-doubt that kind of creeps in when you make a big decision. There's always going to be fear. And that fear has lingered actually throughout the last 100 days. And I feel like only in the last month has it truly dissipated, where I've had some really massive wins. I've had some incredible clients come on board. And this month, I have had 4 clients return. So 4 ex-clients have come back. And that is amazing for me because it shows that these people have been in. They have experienced the program. They understand what it entails. They understand how I run it. They know the pricing. They know it's not a cheap program. Yet they come back and they requested to work with me. All 4 of them requested to have a conversation about rejoining the program, which shows me that these people who have experienced the program, they've been there for 3, 4, 5, 6 months last year, have made an educated decision and understand that they are in a better place being in the mentorship and paying their access for their business than being out of it. And that has really given me a lot of reaffirmation of the value and the confidence that I know I can provide to these people and I have in myself. And so these are the big things that have come up. I think we really need to have a workflow that we can stick to. We really need to be able to diagnose the piece of our business that is not working. So for me right now, this sales process, everything is working. I just need to put more people in the sales process in order to grow. People, when they come in, they're having a great result and they're staying. And that's really it. There was no structure to this video. I just sat down, I had 2 or 3 notes or 4 or 5 notes that I had taken in the park. It's maybe a little bit all over the place, but if you listened to it, if you found it interesting, if you connected with it, if it was valuable for you to hear, I would love you to drop a comment and let me know. And feel free to reach out on Instagram, ask me any questions. I'm an open book on sharing what's working for me. And of course, if you want any info on how you can work with me directly to build and grow and scale your coaching business to 6 to 10K months while taking back control of your time, then just shoot me a quick message on Instagram and tell me where you're at and I'd be happy to help. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and there's a little bell if you want notifications so you don't miss these videos and you don't miss further updates on this 250K journey. You can hit that little bell and turn on notifications.